how to answer questions related to synthesis. Please underline the word synthesis. Those back row students, are the letters big enough? Say this or this. Oh, okay. Now first you write the question, first write the heading, how to answer questions related to synthesis. Then write the question, what is synthesis? What is synthesis? Then what is synthesis? First I'll read out. Synthesis means combining a number of simple sentences into one new sentence. And that could be simple, or compound, or complex. So please write, synthesis means combining. See, I can project only half of it if you have to see the words. If you don't take your own time, then the other half it will be a problem. So you have to be very fast, write the first half, then I'll move this side, you can write the second half. It goes that way. So what is synthesis have you written? Synthesis means combining a number of simple sentences into one new. Combining a number of simple sentences into one new. Have you written? One new sentence. And this sentence could be a simple sentence, a compound sentence, or a complex sentence. Generally, synthesis means what? Create something. Create. So here what are you creating? You take 2 or 3 sentences and you create a new sentence. Synthesis means that. Now, write the question, what are connectors? What are connectors? Underline the key word. What is synthesis? The concept synthesis. Here, what are connectors? Connectors are, please write, words. What are these words? Connectors are words used to link. Connectors are words used to link large groups of words. Connectors are words used to link large groups of words. And those large groups of words could be phrases, clauses, or sentences. Phrases, clauses, and sentences. Underline all the 3. Phrases, clauses, and sentences. I hope this is okay. You're able to write and follow. Now write the next question. Why should we use connectors? Why should we use connectors? Why do writers use connectors? We use them for coherence. Please underline the word coherence, more specific. Coherence. We use them for coherence. Then write the meaning of the word coherence. It means smooth and logical flow of sentences. Coherence means smooth and logical flow of sentences. Please underline the words smooth and logical. Smooth and logical flow of sentences. Have you written? Any problem, anytime, please raise your hand. I will slow down, I'll stop, I'll show again. Sentence connectors are usually placed. This talks about the position. Sentence connectors are usually placed at the beginning of a sentence. Are placed at the beginning of a sentence. At the beginning of a sentence. So 3 points here. What is the first point? What is synthesis? What is synthesis? You take 2 or 3 simple sentences and you create a new sentence which could be a simple sentence or a compound sentence or a complex sentence. That is what we call synthesis. Second question, what are connectors? Connectors are words. What are they? Words. And they are used to link larger groups of words like phrases, clauses, or sentences. Then the third question, why should we use connectors? We use connectors to express coherence. Then comes the question, what is coherence? Coherence is nothing but smooth and logical flow of sentences. And what is the position of these connectors? Usually at the beginning of a sentence. All the 3 points clear? Now we'll go to the next slide. First you write the question, how many connectors are there? How many connectors are there? Then below you write the heading, categories of connectors. I have brought about 12 of them. 12 categories of connectors. Brackets, put the number 12. Categories of connectors. Now we'll see the first 3. They should not be a problem for you. Addition. I hope the letters are big enough. Addition, reasons, place. The second group, example, purpose, sequence. Example, purpose, sequence. P. Priya. Who is P. Priyanka? P. Priyanka. Is she here? Have you heard the name? So no one with that name. Fine. So what is the first group? Addition, reasons, place. Second, you have example, purpose, sequence. Next, you have comparison, choice, result. Comparison, choice, result. Then you have contrast, time, summary. Contrast, time, summary. So how many have you got? 12. To show the same thing with the help of a pie diagram, it looks like this. So shall I change the slide? Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take one concept or one category. I'm going to give the connectors, then a few sentences, and you have to join. Rather easy, should not be a problem. Again, you write the heading, categories of connectors, or straight away you could write sentence connectors showing addition. Underline the key word addition. Sentence connectors showing addition. Have you written that? Then you write, we can show addition, always underline the key words. We can show addition using several different, showing several different connecting words. Several different connecting words. Full stop. Have you written? Common connecting words used to show addition. Please write. Common connecting words used to show addition. These words are very important. Common connecting words used to show addition. Again, you underline the key word addition. Are. What are they? So what is the first one? And. Not only but also. And after that, not only but also. Next, as well as. Next, in addition. Next, additionally. You can listen and write if you cannot see. Additionally, moreover, also, furthermore. Have you written that? In addition to. The next one, in addition to. In addition to, besides, both mean the same. Besides also means what? In addition to. So all these go with which concept? Addition. Now take these sentences. First you write the sentence. The student took his pencil out. The student took his pencil out. That is one simple sentence. Now what is a simple sentence? A simple sentence is one which has only one finite verb. Any sentence with one finite verb is a simple sentence. Any sentence with more than one finite verb could be a compound sentence or a complex sentence. Have you written this one? Write the second simple sentence. He started sharpening it. He started sharpening it. Sharp adjective, sharpen verb. Sharpen is a regular verb. Sharpening it. Now what is the appropriate addition word? And, please write, between write the word. So how does the sentence go? The student took his pencil out and he started sharpening it. The next one, the manager has got a car. The manager has got a car. First sentence. The second sentence, he has got a motorbike. He has got a motorbike. So what will you say? As well as. The manager has got a car as well as a motorbike. Has got a motorbike. Written. Third one, the new lecturer is a scholar. Scholar here means a knowledgeable person. The new lecturer is a scholar. He is a writer. He is a writer. So how do you join? Not only but also appropriate. The new lecturer is not only a scholar but also a writer. The new lecturer is not only a scholar but also a writer. Next one. Texting while driving is dangerous. Why not? Here you could use different additional words related to addition. That's a very good doubt. Please remember, when I say one particular example, it doesn't mean that you have to use only that one. In some situations, you can use 2 or 3. Absolutely no problem. For this one, you can say, the new lecturer is a scholar as well as a writer. That is also right. The new lecturer is not only a scholar but also a writer. That is also right. That's your doubt, am I right? Perfect. No limitations as such. As long as it is meaningful and grammatically correct. So what is the last one? Texting while driving is dangerous. Have you written? Texting while driving is dangerous. It is, this should have been capital letter, it is illegal in some states. It is, its short form, it is illegal in some states. Now how do you join? What are the words you have written here? Go to the words. Better, the best word would be moreover. Please write, moreover, it is illegal in some states. See, today what I am going to do, first I gave the concepts, now individual connectors. At the fag end of the session, how to answer the questions. Then you get a clear picture. Shall I change the slide? The next one, Sentence connectors showing comparison. Showing what? Underline the key word comparison. We can show addition using several different connecting words. That is a standard expression. Only the key word here, actually it is not addition. We can show comparison. Showing several different connecting words. The common connecting words used to show comparison are. The common connecting words used to show comparison are similarly, in the same way, similarly, in the same way, likewise, as with, just as, in similar manner, only as, after that, in comparison to, also, by the same token. That is a formal expression. Please underline that. By the same token, same as, just like, correspondingly. The last word is correspondingly. Have you written? Now we'll see the examples. This you have got already in one of the mock tests. So please write the first sentence. You can't give your phone number to every man who asks for it. Does it sound familiar? Yes. You can't give your phone number to every man who asks for it. You can't give your phone number to every man who asks for it. You can't go out with everyone who fancies you. You can't go out with everyone who fancies you. So what is the appropriate word? Likewise. Please write. Likewise. Likewise. You can't give your phone number to every man who asks for it. First sentence. You can't go out with everyone who fancies you. Likewise is the connector. He is not allowed to use his Kindle here. First sentence. See, I am giving you an option. Either you can look at the screen and write, or you could listen and write. Either way, I make sure that you get the information. He is not allowed to use his Kindle here. Have you written? He has to switch it off when he is in the library. He has to switch it off when he is in the library. When he is in the library. Now what is the appropriate connector? Similarly, in the same manner also you could use. So what is the sentence? He is not allowed to use his Kindle here. Similarly, he has to switch it off when he is in the library. Have you written? The next one, this I have brought intentionally, a new word. The journalist is an excellent photographer. The journalist is an excellent photographer. That is the first sentence. Shall I read out the second one? His paintings are works of art. Oh, here I should have used. Please change photographer to painter. Please, painter. The journalist is an excellent painter. His paintings are works of art. Here, the best word would be the last word. What is the word? Correspondingly. Use that word because this goes with a formal situation. Correspondingly. The journalist is an excellent painter. Correspondingly, his paintings are works of art. Shall I move on to the next one? Cutting down on sugar. Cutting down on sugar will help you lose weight. Cutting down on sugar will help you lose weight. Doing more exercise will help you. Doing more exercise will help you get rid of a few kilos. Get rid of a few kilos. So what is a connector? You could say similarly, in the same manner, any of these could be used. Likewise also could be used. In similar manner, any of these could be used. Shall I change the slide? The third one, sentence connectors showing contrast. Underline the word contrast. We can show contrast using several different connecting words. That's a standard one, you don't have to write. The common connecting words used to show contrast. That sentence you have to write. You could edit also common words that show contrast. So what are the words? However. First one is what? However. In contrast. Second one. In contrast. Third, nevertheless. Contrasting words are very important. Nonetheless. Yet. On the other hand. On the other hand. On the contrary. On the other hand, after that, on the contrary. Instead. Have you written? Now write the first sentence. This restaurant has the best kitchen in town. This restaurant has the best kitchen in town. Their staff are quite rude. Their staff are quite rude. Now what is the appropriate connector? However, have you written? Second one, house prices have gone up this year. House prices have gone up this year. Car prices seem to be stagnating. Car prices seem to be stagnating. House prices gone up, car prices stagnating. So what is a better word? In contrast, you could use in contrast. On the other hand, you could use that also. On the contrary also could be used. But best option would be in contrast. There's a contrast. One is going up, the other is stagnating. The next one, this also you got in one of the mock test papers, but I've changed the examples. Please write, London has the best language schools. London has the best language schools. It has the worst weather. It has the worst weather. So what is the connector? On the other hand, remember we got in the mock test, on the other hand, it has the worst weather. I don't think Tom has serious problems. Next one. I don't think Tom has serious problems. Second sentence, I will talk to him first thing in the morning. I will talk to him first thing in the morning. So what is the connector? I don't think Tom has serious problems. What is it? You could use however. You could also say nevertheless. Two options. One is nevertheless, the other however. Then comes a question, what is the difference between nevertheless and however? Nevertheless is a little more formal than however. Please make a note. That is a more formal word, nevertheless. Shall I read out the last one? It was early. First sentence, a short sentence. It was early. Second sentence, we were all ready for bed. We were all ready for bed after our long hike. We were all ready for bed after our long hike. This is a bit difficult. I want you to use a new word. Which word will you use? This shows a contrast. Who says yet? That is the right word. Please add yet. So how does it go? It was early, yet we were all ready for bed after our long hike. Do you find it useful? Sure. Write the next one. Sentence connectors showing time. Please underline time. The common connecting words used to show time are at first, then, later, afterwards, in the meantime, meanwhile, in the meantime, meanwhile. Have you written? Write the first sentence. It wasn't a piece of cake to learn French. Underline the idiomatic expression piece of cake. Means easy. It wasn't a piece of cake to learn French. I could not pronounce all the words correctly. I could not pronounce all the words correctly. Now, what do you think the appropriate connector? At first, that would be better. What is it? At first. That's what you said. That's good. At first, I couldn't pronounce all the words correctly. I was working at a museum. I was working at a museum. My brother was going to university. My brother was going to university. So what is the appropriate connector? Same time going on. Meanwhile, you could also use, what is the other one? In the meantime. Meanwhile. Or in the meantime. Both are correct. Okay. Travel and see the world. Travel and see the world. You will be able to put your concerns in perspective. You will be able to put your concerns in perspective. So what is the first sentence here? Travel and see the world. You will be able to put your concerns in perspective. So what do you think? Afterwards or then. Afterwards is a better word. Please write. Afterwards, you will be able to put your concerns in perspective. The next one. If the mountain doesn't come to you, if the mountain doesn't come to you, what will you do? You must go to the mountain, obviously. If the mountain doesn't come to you, you must go to the mountain. So what is the appropriate word or connector? Then. Please write then. If the mountain doesn't come to you, then you must go to the mountain. This is the last but one. Usually I know what happens. You guys are used to listening a lot, not writing a lot. Now slowly the atmosphere, the ambience has changed, has been changing. Initially fine, now reluctance. Oh, one more, oh, one more. Don't worry, this is the last but one. This and the next one, you'll be happy. So what is the next one? Sentence connectors showing a result. Please underline the word result. The common connecting words used to show result are as a result, first one. As a result, as a consequence, second one. As a consequence. Third, therefore. Fourth, thus. Next, accordingly. Accordingly. Hence. Consequently. Consequently. So. The last word is so. Shall I show the sentences? First one. She has done a Chinese healing course. She has done a Chinese healing course. She has been able to cure her neighbor's sick cat. She has been able to cure her neighbor's sick cat. So what is the appropriate one? As a result, please write, as a result, she has been able to. What is the next one? He has skipped college on many occasions. He has skipped college on many occasions. He has failed his German test, obviously. He has failed his German test. So what is the appropriate connector? As a consequence would be better. As a consequence. You could say as a result, no problem. As a consequence, you are talking about the consequence. As a consequence. You could also say, therefore, better here, consequence related, so as a consequence. We'll see that one later. We are going to experience some meteor showers soon. Does it sound familiar? No, we got this in one of the mock test papers. We are going to experience some meteor showers soon. Have you written that sentence? The number of miraculous self-healings will rise. The number of miraculous self-healings. Miracle means what? A wonder, something magical. Healings will rise. Once someone spent a lot of time to search for a miracle. Then he came across a scholar, a wise man. He asked a question, "Sir, where is the miracle?" Then the scholar said, "You are the miracle." What is it? You are a miracle. Every individual is a miracle. That's a very wise statement. Do you understand what I say? So everyone is a bundle of magical powers. Only thing we should know how to harness them, extract them, and use them in the right way. So what is the last one? They did not tell us. No, what is the answer for this? Can we say therefore? Therefore, but they are not, we don't know the context. This goes with Western context. Last time also I said the same thing. Not easy to comprehend. Please write therefore. You could also use hence. That word is also acceptable. Write the last one. They did not tell us they wanted to come. They did not tell us they wanted to come. The second sentence, we won't be taking them with us. We won't be taking them with us. So what is the word? You could say therefore, so, hence, any of these could be used. Shall I move on to the next one? The last one rather, what is it? Sentence connectors showing summary. So what are the words? In conclusion. Please write the first one. In conclusion. The second one. In brief. In brief. In summary. To sum up. To sum up. To conclude. It means what? To conclude. All in all. Shall we see the sentences? Meeting my manager at the pub was a terrible experience. First, going to the pub is a mistake. Meeting my manager at the pub Does it sound familiar? We got in one of the mock test papers a question related to this, but they used a different word, not appropriate word. I changed the word. Meeting my manager at the pub was a terrible experience. Underline the word terrible. Terrible means what? You could also say awful experience, means bad experience, very bad, terrible, bad. It was a disaster. It was a disaster. So, what is the answer? In brief, it was a disaster. Please use in brief. It was a disaster. I would say that, first sentence, I would say that. The campaign has been a great success. The campaign has been a great success. So, what is the answer here? I would say, in conclusion, that the campaign has been a great success. I would say that, all in all, the campaign has been a great success. That's also right. Please don't restrict yourself with one. You could use one or two or three, doesn't matter. As long as they are grammatically correct and they sound practical and usage point of view, they are right. Finally, we don't use here. No. Shall I show the next one? Damp walls. Damp means what? A little wet. A little wet. Damp walls are not disastrous structurally. Disastrous structurally. But the cause must be ascertained. The cause must be ascertained. And the cause must be ascertained and the condition rectified. And the condition rectified. Now imagine you have to start with the connector. Start the sentence with the connector. Which one will you use? In conclusion, say yes or no. In conclusion, can you use that to begin with? In brief, no. In summary, it doesn't sound very good. To sum up, so what sounds good? To sum up, please add that. Before the sentence you use to sum up, damp walls are not disastrous structurally. Then it goes smoothly. Sometimes she is moody. He or she, that is your choice, mind you. Otherwise, it becomes a problem. Students think master has gender bias. Sometimes she is or he is moody. He or she is an excellent trainer. She is an excellent trainer. So, what is the word you can use? Here, generally, we say, all in all, she is an excellent trainer or he is an excellent trainer. So, some of the important concepts, words, examples. Now, we will see how to answer questions related to synthesis, but we will see the models first. You come across two models, please make a note. Model 1 or pattern 1. What is this pattern? You see two sentences, sentence 1, sentence 2. Then options, you see 5 options, A, B, C, D, E, 5 options. And choose one option. Your job is only to choose one option. This is rather easy. One model, one pattern. What is the second pattern? Pattern 2. Again, you see two sentences, sentence 1, sentence 2, and you see A, B, C, only 3 options. Then you see the options, only A and B, A and C, B and C, options like that. These are rather difficult. Like you got the doubt, that girl, you got the doubt, sir, can we use one or more than one? This is to test that knowledge, whether you know how many can you use based on the context, whether you have that knowledge or not based on that. Now we'll come to the actual thing, how to answer. Now you have to be attentive and listen very carefully. How to answer questions related to synthesis. The first step, please write, are the words big enough? No. Now, do they look better? Read the sentences. First, read the sentences. Read the sentences and understand the context. Please underline the word context. Contextual awareness is very important. A lot of students, I feel, they don't have this particular awareness. What is it? Contextual awareness. Due to lack of reading, very simple. So what is the first step? Read the two sentences, understand the context. Have you written? The second step, make out the relation between. Make out, underline the phrasal verb make out. Make out means what? Understand. British English we say make out, American English we say figure out. Both mean the same, but generally we use make out. Make out the relation between the sentences. What is the relation between the two sentences? That is very important. Second step. Now third step, please put a star mark. Based on the relation, so you understand the relation, based on the relation, think of the appropriate, based on the relation, think of the appropriate category. Based on the relation, think of the appropriate category, that is, whether it is contrast or addition or comparison, whatever it is. Which category does it belong to? The relation, contrast, addition, comparison, result, etc. Fourth step, look for the connectors. Look for the connectors that go with the category. Look for the connectors that go with the category. Now you see the relation, then you decide it is based on contrast. Then you have to think of words like despite, however, all those contrasting words. And the last step, once you select the connector, see if the chosen connector, forms a meaningful, forms a meaningful and grammatically correct. Meaningful and grammatically, underline those two words. Meaningful and grammatically correct sentence. It has to be meaningful, at the same time it has to be grammatically correct. So finally, to sum up, keep in mind three things. One is context, second is relation, third is appropriate connector. That's it. Hope it's useful. It has been useful. But do remember, when it comes to how to handle cloze test, para-jumble, synthesis, sync model, word fillers, all these topics, we may give tips. All these are tips basically. They help you only to some extent, not in the real sense. I don't hesitate to say that standing here. No second thoughts, I don't hesitate. What is the reason? My strong belief, in my opinion, excuse me, and with a lot of conviction I say this, these are all not even 20% of the knowledge you are supposed to have. That means what? This is like the tip of an iceberg. 80%, it depends on to what extent you read and what you read, how long you read, how long you have been reading. All these things do matter when it comes to not this particular topic, topics like parajumble, close, and sync model, word pillars, passage, all these depend on what? Your exposure to a variety of contexts, your exposure to the language. Only then one reading you will be able to decide this is a one, this is a one. Now there are two situations. Imagine one situation. Today you have been enriched with the concepts. What is the enrichment of this particular session? You got the concepts. What is synthesis? What are connectors? Why should we use connectors? And 12 categories. Each category you got the related words. That is definitely useful beyond any doubt. Because category based words you have to know and you have to memorize. Then you got a few tips. Now we'll consider the tips. When it comes to the tips, you got the words, you got the tips. You go to the exam. Imagine you get 5 questions related to synthesis. Using this knowledge, you may be able to answer at the most 1 or 2, not more than that. Being practical. The other group, take a student who reads a lot, who has been reading a lot, newspapers and magazines, and he has been enriched with these words, these tips, and that student, I'm sure, will be able to answer all the 5 correct. It's a question of 2 or 3 marks. You read, you don't read. But today a lot of people are getting eliminated, not 1 mark or 2 marks, 0.25 marks, they're getting eliminated. That means what? You cannot take any chances, as simple as that. I hope it's clear. This is what I wanted to teach today. It is almost 50 minutes. I would like to stop here. Based on this, you have any questions or you want to give the feedback, you could tell me tomorrow or later. I would like to stop here. And before I wind up the session, I would like to share, one of our students, she met me on Saturday. She joined in this institute in the month of November 18, mind you, 18. She started her preparation seriously in the month of December. Let us take November, December, Jan, Feb. This is what, March. So don't consider March. 4 months. She got selected South India Bank PO. That is really highly appreciable. What is the reason? In a short span of how many months? 4 months. We have a lot of students who have been preparing for so long. Various factors. I'm not trying to take a negative stand about those students. Always remember, sometimes what happens, success becomes elusive to some people. They're very intelligent, they're very hardworking, they're brilliant, but a lot of factors, some factors in your hands, some factors not in your hands. That's why there's a saying in English, what is it? Man proposes and God disposes. You may give your best, but there's no guarantee you get success. Always remember that. So what is the message here? If you don't get success, it doesn't mean that others are better than you, first thing. It doesn't mean that you are not intelligent enough. It doesn't mean that you are not competent enough. Factors do not go your way. Things do not work your way. You have to wait for some more time. But in my opinion, getting selected in a short span of 4 months, definitely highly appreciable. Highly appreciable. Generally, I tell students, bank exams, it takes 6 months to 1 year. 6 months, I consider some people are fortunate enough. Here I talk about the luck factor. You may ask, sir, what is this luck factor? Sometimes it does play a role. Please remember, any competitive exam, hard work is a prerequisite. Prerequisite means what? Essential. You need beforehand. And exam approach required. You are diligent, you are intelligent, you know the exam approach. In spite of all these, you may not get selected. Various factors. That particular day, perhaps you are not well. That particular time, while taking the exam, you messed up one section, impact of that, other sections got messed up. The whole thing, big mess. It happens. And that particular day, your bad luck, you read 80%, but the questions came from the remaining 20%. I'll give one example. What is confidence? After that, I'll wind up the session. A lot of students think when it comes to interview, to know the answers, if you know the answers, you can be confident. That's a wrong notion. Interview, they cannot test your knowledge in a short span of 5 minutes or 10 minutes. How much time do they spend? Maximum 15 minutes. That is rare. Usually 5 minutes they finish off. Can they test your knowledge in the real sense in a short span of 5 minutes? They cannot. And in that process, what happens? So many questions they can ask you. They can corner you just like that. They are knowledgeable people. 80s, mid-80s, IAS interview, one student went. He cleared his prelims, he cleared his mains. Then they started asking questions. He said, no, sir. Sorry, sir. I don't know, sir. I'm not able to recollect, sir. 5 or 6 questions, all no, no, no.